I completely beat Ultrakill in VR. Here's how I did it.
Wait, Ultrakill has a VR mode?
If you didn't know, Ultrakill has a VR mod which completely turns the entirety of Ultrakill into VR. Now this isn't actually the mod itself, this is just Bone Lab, but the game has full motion control support and the game feels great to play. There are a few caveats to its controls, but it's Ultrakill in VR. I mean, come on, man. There's only so much you can even beg for. Now I just want to say that the difficulties did vary in this video.
Okay, past me. I'm gonna have to tell you to shut up real quick. Okay, so the difficulties did not change in this video. What past me didn't realize is that it was actually just a major skill issue. I just did what any other gamer of my kind is absolutely afraid of doing, and that's actually getting good at a video game. So, you know, I naturally played the game more and actually got good. I never realized it was just a genuine skill issue. So I got good at the game, and yeah. Enjoy the video.
So, the playthrough first starts out with me doing the intro and whatnot. I first got through all the enemies and I got to the boss fight, but which I did not record because I was still trying out the VR mod. I didn't know if it would work, but I did get through the first boss fight with that weird face guy. So he's completely out of the question, and he was really easy to beat. It was a little tough. It took me a few tries because I was still getting used to the controls, considering I had to learn how to frickin' slide. Oh god, I was still trying to learn how to slide, and I was still learning how to try and do all the controls. So it took me a few tries, but I did I ended up getting through. Yeah. After making my way through all the enemies, we then get to our second boss battle, Swords Machine. Swords Machine was really tough for me, especially in VR. Swords Machine is not really a super hard boss fight in the real, desktop game, but in VR it's amplified 5 times, considering a lot of his attacks you need to dodge for. You need to swipe out of the way, but it's really hard to do that because of my left joystick. So I tried to kind of cheese him. I would end up hitting him with the shotgun, sliding backwards and jumping off the wall with the shotgun. I would keep doing that until eventually my railgun would charge, or I could pop a coin in the air and shoot it. Okay, oh, I hit it! Holy shit! The Swords Machine is out of the way.
We now make it to Limbo. Oh, and I vanished you to a quick little montage. It's also here I find out that gun spinning is my new favorite thing. After about 20 minutes of straight, mindless, brutal killing, it's here we make it to the hideous mask boss fight. I'm not gonna lie, this boss fight was actually really tough on flat screen for me. Honestly, the amount of times you have to dodge attacks and just in general have good aim was honestly something completely different for me. But in VR, it definitely wasn't as bad. It was still definitely really tough, but it definitely wasn't as bad as flat screen. So, Hideous Mask is down. And here we are at Claire de Lune, where I get a book forcibly super glued to my hand for about 10 minutes straight without knowing how to get it off my hand. it's still stuck to my hand. Can anybody please tell me how to get this off? I would like to actually fight. And here we are at the V2 boss fight. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little stressed about this fight. I died to V2 way too many times in my first playthrough flat screen. And honestly, this was the one fight I was worried about, along with Gabriel. V2 is tough enough as it is on flat screen, but in VR, it's really hard, considering how fast he is to hit. It is a little easier to hit him, considering, you know, you actually have motion controls to hit him. But dodging out of the way of his shots and even trying to get close to him to even bleed off of him is incredibly tough, especially in VR. The only way I was able to get through this is just by using my minigun and punching him a lot, and especially just letting him get close to me. The rocket launcher, railgun, and minigun and shotgun were definitely my best friends. Even the coin was really helpful. So, yeah. With that, V2 is done. Somehow. I'm really tired already. Also, here's another montage. Finally, we made it to that one part in Half-Life. Anyways, it's here we encounter, the hand. I'm not gonna lie, this was a little tough. I died to this way more than I should have, especially just trying to dodge out of the way in VR and just jump. It's a little hard, I'm not gonna lie. I had quite a hard time with this guy. But, you know, even with all that, I just kind of got good and ended up beating him, so. Yeah, that's, the hand. And after a short cart ride, it's here we encountered the corpse of King Minos. Or Minos, I'm still not sure yet. This fight is way tough than it needed to be, especially in flat screen. So you can imagine my frustration fighting this guy in VR. Having to avoid a black hole while also avoiding homing missiles and just regular shots, and also having to dodge out of the way of his melee attacks while having to aim at his eye is absolutely tough, especially when trying to do all of that in VR. It's way harder than you would think it would be. Either way, this fight was insanely tough. This was harder than it needed to be. It felt a lot harder in VR. Just the corpse of King Minos is an especially tough boss fight in general, but in VR is amplified tenfold. I don't get how a fight can be this tough in VR. This fight took me around 15 minutes to even try and beat, which is way more than any other Ultrakill boss I've ever. I've never taken this long for a boss fight. In any video game I've ever played, both VR and flat screen, I've never taken this long to beat somebody. But we did beat him. After 15 minutes, we did end up beating Corpse of King Minos. So, yeah, he's dead now. Thank God. Oh, and it's montage time. Baller.
Machine, turn back now. The layers of this palace are not for your kind. Turn back, or you will be crossing the will of God. Your choice is made. as the righteous hand of the Father, I shall rend you apart, and you will become inanimate once more. Behold, the power of an angel! I'm going to Ultrakill you! Fuck you! I'm the righteous hand of the Father. I'm special and great, and I deserve to be treated like royalty! What? How can this be? Bested by this thing? You insignificant fuck! This is not over! May your L's be many and your bitches few.
And just like that, we beat Gabriel. For some reason, this was honestly kind of easy. It only took me 13 restarts. Compared to other bosses, this honestly wasn't the hardest boss I fought so far, which I'm honestly surprised. But fighting Gabriel in VR is absolutely amazing. And, you know, just in general, the amount of, like, things I've learned playing, like, VR Ultrakill, honestly really helped. Getting used to the controls and all that really helped in this Gabriel fight. Well, seems like we have to finish Act 2, shall we? Oh god, I hate this level. Baller. Alright, well, we've arrived to Sisyphean insurrectionist. Yeah, believe it or not, I did not die to this boss a single time playing this my first time on flat screen. I did not die to him once. He's dead. I did not die to that guy once. But for some reason in VR, his difficulty is amplified like 20 times. He is way more difficult in VR for no reason whatsoever. For some reason, he is insanely hard in VR. It took me probably more tries to beat him than it did for me to beat Gabriel in Act 1, which is honestly surprising. His attacks are just so weird, and just his jumping and dodging mixed with hot sand, and every time he launches me out and having to dash back in is so annoying. This fight is just overall insanely annoying, but you know, I'm him, I got good, you know, so we beat him. I mean, it took a second, but we got there. And we now arrive in the spooky level. God, not this again.
You are poggers! You are pog champ! You are not cringe!
My fingers hurt.
Hello, brother. We meet again. I'm not going to lose this time. Wait a minute. Is that a virtual reality headset? I am literally you. How are you doing this?
or not, V2 is surprisingly easy in VR, especially the second fight. The first fight was actually quite tough. The second fight felt very easy. I don't know what it is, but with the second fight, he just felt a lot easier. So, and I think I was also more comfortable with how V2 moved and just in general how he played compared to when I first fought him when I didn't really know what I was doing. Oh, and it's montage time again. Well, we've arrived to the Ferryman boss fight. This was honestly a really tough boss fight. This took me around 15 minutes to complete. I'm going to be completely honest with you. He is insanely tough to even play in VR. A lot of dodging was involved, and as you can see, I had to speed up this footage. That's how you know it took me a while. But we beat him in the end. Don't you worry, because we're him. Remember, we're the real Sprite VR. Also, this is when I realized I could parry my bullets in VR. Boy, do I have some words for the Leviathan boss fight. Dude, this fight absolutely destroyed me the first time I played this game on flat screen. I literally could barely get through this boss fight. I don't know what it was with this. The amount of, like, just the way he would bait and switch his attacks. Like, he would go for you, and then he would have his other arm sweep and try and knock you off the platform. Was absolutely just crazy. I just couldn't get used to it for the longest time. I died so many times during this boss fight on flat screen. But in VR, I did not die a single time to Leviathan. I don't know what it was, but VR definitely made this a lot easier. I don't know what it was, but I think maybe it was the ability to shoot and look the other way at the same time that genuinely just helped. And I guess my aim also was definitely a lot better in VR, but honestly I genuinely just can't really explain why I was better in VR compared to the flat screen version. I genuinely, it's just, I don't know, I can't really think of a reason, but you know, I'm him. That's the only reason I can think of. Well, here we arrive almost towards Herez. And if you know Ultrakill, Herez is where we're going to fight Gabriel. Gabriel is coming up very soon, but I just wanted to say, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I post content on my TikTok almost every single day. I stream. And also, I post a ton of cool videos on here, so there's no reason not to subscribe. It's completely free, and it only takes 5 seconds of your time. And, yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Bye. I know I keep saying every single boss fight has been insanely hard up to this point, but when I say this boss fight was truly hard, I genuinely mean it. For 2 hideous masks, you would think this wouldn't be the hardest boss fight of the game, but for some reason this is honestly the hardest boss fight in the entire game. It's so much worse in VR. I mean, just the amount of times I had to retry this and just try and get it perfectly while trying to avoid Swords Machine is just so tedious and it's just so annoying. But you know what that means. We had to pull through because we never back down, we never give up. And remember, I'm him.
Limbo, lust, all gone, with gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. As to you, you've taken everything from me, machine, and now all that remains is perfect hatred. Machine, I will cut you down, rake you apart, splay the gore of your profane form across the stars. I will grind you down until the very sparks cry for mercy. My hands shall relish ending you here and now. Time to right my wrong. Machine! Let's settle this! Is this what I lost to? Is that the best you got? Your son! Please, I beg you! Twice! Beaten by an object! Twice! I've only known the taste of victory. But this taste, is this my blood? I've never known such relief. I need some time to think. We will meet again, machine. May your woes be many, and your days mew. Nya, Francis.